Hello there, everyone. We're going to give just a couple seconds here, let people shuffle into the webinar. Thanks for joining us. And Dan, will you be recording this by chance?
Yes, this is being recorded right now, actually.
Perfect. Excellent.
So you're on camera.
Just let me know when you want me to get started.
Hey, that's entirely up to you. Hey, everyone. My name's Dan. I'm with Royal Caribbean. I'm your insider today. We're just giving it a couple more minutes, letting some more people jump on in, and then your incredible travel partner, Jeffrey, is going to get us started. By the way, for those of you who are already attending, if you have any questions, if you want to go ahead and submit them, there is a question bar. Just go ahead and type those in, and we'll do our best to get to some of them. And if we can't get to all of them, no worries. Jeff is the expert. He's going to be reaching out to you with all of those answers.
Perfect. Well, let's go ahead and get started. We'll let people come in as they come in. Good evening, everyone. I wanted to thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Jeffrey Lazo, and I'm the one that invited you to this great event here. I own and operate an agency called Cruise Planners, and I'm based here down in the South Denver area. Now, Cruise Planners, we are an American Express full-service travel agency partner. And I specialize in ocean, river, expedition, and luxury cruises, as well as escorted tours, resorts all over the world, as well as being an authorized Disney vacation planner. Wanted to let you know that I'm happy to be joined this evening by Royal Caribbean Cruises and Dan here to share in our virtual vacation to Alaska on the Ovation of the Seas. So with that, Dan, I'd love to get started and go ahead and take it away.
Perfect. Thank you, Jeff, for having me, and thank you, everyone, for taking some time out of your crazy schedules just to get away and go on this virtual vacation. Even though it's through a computer, I have some really good info for you today. For those of you that are actually going on this ship and on this itinerary, have a lot of good insider information for you. So I'm going to turn my camera off. You don't need to see my ugly mug. So we're going to see some really nice pictures of the Ovation of the Seas and of the Alaskan itinerary that you're going to be visiting. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just get started here. Already saw the awesome presentation. Thank you, Jeff, for that. And we're going to go into the ship. This is the Ovation of the Seas. This is part of our Quantum class family here at Royal Caribbean, and it is one of the most unique types of ships that we do have. It's absolutely perfect for these Alaskan outdoor kind of cold sailings. So I'm going to give you some little interesting facts about the Ovation of the Seas. Standing upright at almost 1,200 feet, the Ovation of the Seas is 2.5 times taller than the Tianjin Eye. The Ovation's 4 bow thrusters produce almost 4,700 horsepower each, which is more than 2 times the horsepower of a 5-car New York subway. Pretty much, it's very large. And at 301 feet, the North Star, which I'm going to get into a lot deeper because it is a really incredible experience, it is 301 feet high and is almost as tall as the Statue of Liberty. Going into the length of the ship, once again, almost 1,200 feet long. It is 5 times longer than the Tiananmen Gate in Beijing, China. And at 168,000 gross tonnage, it is approximately 56 billion lychee that could fit inside the Ovation of the Seas. Just some nice little fun facts for you. Just know this ship is huge, but it's action-packed, a lot of really incredible amenities for you. All right, so we're going to move on to our onboard activities. I'm going to break off into each of these sections. So we are going to be starting with our Bionic Bar, which is a really unique venue that we do have on our ship. Sorry, I get ahead of myself. So the Bionic Bar, it transports you eons ahead to another place in time where robots take center stage. This is the first true robotic bar, not just at sea, but actually anywhere in the world. It is equipped with a series of sensors that detect when you enter the venue. Actually, you can watch the robot bartender perfectly mix your drinks, and it is a really, really fun experience. All you need is your CPass card, and if you do purchase a beverage package, this is absolutely included. When I actually went on this ship last year, I spent about 2 hours just standing there watching drinks being made. I got a couple myself, and they really are top notch. So I do highly recommend that you check out the Bionic Bar when you do get on the ship. And into the next venue, arguably the most unique part of our Ovation of the Seas is the North Star. The North Star is an exclusive and intimate experience that takes you on this incredible journey, actually 301 feet into the air. It is especially perfect for these Alaskan itineraries, especially when you visit Dawes Glacier. You can reserve this. It brings you up into the air. You spend about 15 minutes in it, and it gives you these incredible 360-degree views of wherever you're at. And it is an absolute blast. I do recommend that if this is something you're interested in, book it way ahead of time. This is one of the first of our onboard activities that gets booked up, especially when you're visiting those glaciers. So if you want that experience, book it way, way ahead of time. We are going to move into our Ripcord by iFly. Yes, there is a skydiving simulator on the Ovation of the Seas. So for the first time for every guest on board, it is absolutely free. Every time after that, it is a little bit of a charge, but everyone does get a chance to go, of course, meeting height requirements. But it is so fun, and you can always tell who got off of the Ripcord by iFly because they have these goggle imprints on their eyes, their hair is all disheveled, and it's hilarious. But it's actually located in the back of the ship. You get a beautiful view of wherever you're at sea, as well as the flow riders at the back of the ship. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it's something I recommend all of you take full advantage of when you do get to see our beautiful Ovation of the Seas. We're going to move on to our Seaplex. This is an indoor sports arena, actually the largest indoor active space at sea. The Seaplex is a distinctive and flexible sporting and entertainment venue with thrilling features that will inspire you to let loose and connect with your playful sides. It's dynamic and energetic. The Seaplex takes adventure-seeking guests on a journey from day to night, delivering an abundance of new activities at sea, including bumper cars, a circus school with flying trapeze, and roller skating. We do understand that vacation time is precious at Royal Caribbean, and the Seaplex was designed with large windows to allow for lots of natural sunlight while protecting you from the elements, rain or shine, warm or cool, particularly cool in this Alaskan itinerary. But you can refuel and relax at the food truck called the Seaplex Doghouse. Complimentary hot dogs, really, really good stuff, which serves delicious treats for all of you to enjoy. Also found on the mezzanine level of the Seaplex are 4 expansive and distinctive Sea Pod activity rooms. And these rooms, while having really beautiful views out to the ocean, also have their own designed custom themes. One will have Xbox and video games. One will have table tennis. One will have air hockey, football, and other types of interactive games. This is the hot spot on the ship when you're going through those chilly parts of the world. And we're going to go on to the Royal Esplanade. This is actually going to be the first venue that you do see when you board our beautiful Ovation of the Seas. It is filled with shopping, food, drinks, everything you would need is going to be here at the Royal Esplanade, and it's just a very gorgeous, sleek design. You're going to spend a lot of time there at Sorrento's getting some free pizza, the best pizza you're going to get at sea. At the top right, you do see that Bionic bar, those 2 robot bar bartenders, and it's really, really beautiful. And there's another closer shot of that Bionic bar. You can see those computer screens on either side. It's going to show your drink being made in real time. It's going to show you, the parts of every drink, and it shakes it. It's really fun. And once again, I recommend that you take a look at it when you do get on board. There is an escape room on our Ovation of the Seas. The escape into the future experience on the Ovation of the Seas is really, really brand new, actually, and it is a top-notch escape room. It's not flimsy, everything is nice and sturdy, and it is actually very hard. I actually did it, and sad to say, I didn't succeed, but I still recommend that you take a try. And while there is no prize, the prize is winning and beating it, and it's an absolute blast. We are going to be moving on into the entertainment on the Ovation of the Seas. and we're going to start with the 270 venue. This is actually one of the more unique entertainment venues that we have at Royal Caribbean, and I'm going to get to that one a little later. But the Casino Royale, we of course have a casino on our ships. What's a cruise vacation without a little bit of gambling? Stocked with all of those games, blackjack, poker, whatever you like, we have it for you at our Casino Royale. Music hall, so we're going to have a lot of our live music, especially cover bands. We're going to have the Guns N' Roses cover bands and what have you, but I'll get into that a little bit later. But we are going to proceed into the Royal Theater. So the Royal Theater is where you're going to be viewing all of our fantastic, well, most of our fantastic shows on Ovation of the Seas. And what is unique to our Ovation of the Seas is the Love, Live, Legs show. It's blending jaw-dropping aerial acrobatics, electrifying choreography, lavish costumes, and mesmerizing visual effects. This is unique to the ship, and it is a really fun show, and these performers are incredible at what they do. Your jaws are going to drop when they're performing these trapeze stunts. We are moving on to the 270 venue. This is a unique entertainment venue that you can visit with your friends and family, where an expansive ocean view is transformed before your eyes by seamless video projection. You can see those 5 computer screens right there. Those actually go in conjunction with either the live music or with the shows that we do have on the ships. I do recommend you gotta catch at least one show or one live music event in 270. You're going to be telling your friends and family about it when you get off. It is that unique, it is that special. And during the day, when it isn't an entertainment venue, it gives you this beautiful panoramic view of the ocean, and it is just absolutely gorgeous, especially in these Alaskan itineraries. And my particular favorite part, Dawes Glacier. You're going to get these gorgeous views, and while the top decks might be a little bit crowded, you're always going to find some really incredible scenic views here in 270. And we're going to move on to the music hall. This is located on decks 3 and 4 of the ship. The music hall is Ovation of the Sea's hottest live music venue and is the place for you to enjoy intimate and exclusive access to live performances while also rocking out in a state-of-the-art setting. During the day, the venue hosts activities ranging from dance classes to improv work classes, workshops, while at night, music hall comes alive as the heart of the ship's entertainment offerings featuring bands, musicians, DJs, theme nights, and more. The 2-story venue's design is inspired by the spirit of rock and roll, with decor in deep, rich tones and touches of leather and mirrors, a tufted wall featuring glowing LED buttons, long red velvet draperies accented with chains and tassels, and distinctive furniture round out the Baroque-inspired locale. When I was on this ship, I was here every single night, and the live music was absolutely incredible. Once again, we have those cover bands, really popular music. Everyone had a drink, everyone was dancing and singing, and I recommend that you give it a shot. And here's a nice shot of our Casino Royale on board our Ovation of the Seas. Of course, it's going to be equipped with those very popular casino games. We have roulette, we have, your slot machines located throughout the entire casino, and much, much more. And now we are going to touch on our specialty dining on board our Ovation of the Seas, starting with Wonderland. This is a really unique and imaginative restaurant. You're going to find some food that you might not order if you weren't on vacation and in a specific restaurant. Really unique dishes. I can't describe it because you're going to see it and it's not going to taste what you think it would taste, but it is absolutely delicious. Really, really innovative. Jamie's Italian by Jamie Oliver, of course, features rustic Italian favorites, handmade using seasonal ingredients, and Jamie's tried and tested crowd pleasers. It is a lot of food. You order a plate and they bring it out to you and it covers the entire table. It's entirely too much food, but it is incredible. It is so, so good and definitely recommend that. Moving on to Izumi. This is going to be our sushi and hibachi restaurant on board the Ovation, and it also offers traditional Asian dishes, but it is really incredible. And any of our specialty dining on board Royal Caribbean, well, yes, they do come at an extra fee. It is that extra wow experience that your friends and your family can go ahead and pay a little bit extra to experience. There are, of course, complimentary dining venues on board Ovation of the Seas. You're going to have the Windjammer Cafe, all-you-can-eat buffet, essentially all day, all night. And we do have Sorrento's for complimentary pizza. And I did mention some hot dogs in the Seaplex. You're not going to go hungry, I can guarantee that. So now we are actually going to go on to the itinerary for the specific sailing. So you are going to start in Seattle, and you're going to be sailing to the Alaska Inside Passage. There we go. It's a beautiful shot of the Tongass National Park. Millions of years ago, southbound glaciers carved out the Inside Passage, leaving majestic fjords, islands, and bays in their wake. Today, the spectacular views will leave a lasting impression on you. From the lush greenery of the Tongass National Forest, the world's largest and northernmost temperate coastal rainforest, to the brilliant blue glaciers, you'll see jaw-dropping beauty everywhere you look. The one thing that you do not want to miss in the Alaska Inside Passage, the incredible landscape of the Inside Passage is home to diverse wildlife. That's why I went to Alaska. That's a big draw to it. You're going to see orca, mountain goats, bald eagles, bears, puffins, sea otters, and more. But these superstars, the most popular animal of the area, are the gentle giants who feed here every summer. So keep on the lookout for the awesome acrobatics of breaching humpback whales. You'll never forget the sight of these 40-ton beasts hurling themselves into the air, almost completely escaping the water, splashing water everywhere. And it is a really, just, incredible sight to behold. If you're especially lucky, you could see them swimming together to create a bubble net. This is how they trap and eat their food by the giant mouthful. And we are going to move to the next port of call, which is going to be in Juneau, Alaska. This particular picture is humpback whale watching, which is one of the excursions that we do offer. But going on to Juneau itself, it is, of course, the capital of Alaska and was founded during a gold rush in 1880. Today, the former gold mining town counts amongst its riches some of Alaska's most spectacular scenery. You can see it here, just so breathtaking, as is all of Alaska. Nestled at the foot of Mount Juneau in the Alaska Panhandle, it faces the water from the mainland side of Gastineau Channel. Several magnificent fjords are located along the channel coast, and the majestic Mendenhall Glacier, a favorite of visitors, is nearby. But the one thing you do not want to miss in this port of call is the amazing glacial landscape. The best view available is from the seat of a helicopter on one of our shore excursions, where you can watch for bears, mountain goats, and moose, and of course, whales. Then, once you've landed, we'll take you on a once-in-a-lifetime dog sled ride. So some other fun things to do within Juneau: you can relive Juneau's gold rush history and pan for gold in the authentic setting of Gold Creek. You can trace the route taken by Joe Juneau and Richard Harris in their search for gold over 100 years ago. You can also fly in a float plane over 5 breathtaking glaciers to the Taku Glacier Lodge for a king salmon feast. You cannot go to Alaska and not try some salmon. It is just incredible to die for. And don't be surprised if a black bear wanders into the yard. You can also take a fully narrated helicopter ride over 4 translucent glaciers within the Juneau ice field. You'll soar past towering peaks and picturesque alpine lakes on this exciting adventure. But if you're not the adrenaline junkie, you can also explore Juneau on foot with more trails than roads. Alaska's capital features world-class hiking through glacial waterfalls and the largest temperate rainforest in the state. Also, you won't have to tell your friends about the one that got away when you go sports fishing in Alaska. The waters are just completely packed with king and silver salmon. We're going to move on to the next port of call, which is going to be Skagway. And you can see this view right here is the Alaska Trail hiking mountain view. And that is not a rendering, that's an actual picture. The scenery in Alaska, it's why we go. Of course, with the wildlife, it's absolutely incredible. But when gold was discovered in the Klondike region of the Yukon Territory, it resulted in the historic gold rush of 1898. As thousands of gold-crazed adventurers sought that the best starting point from their arduous trek, they found the deepest penetration possible by boat was at the northern tip of the Lynn Canal. This is how Skagway was born. So the one thing you do not want to miss within this port of call is by taking an unforgettable journey aboard the scenic railway of the world. You can travel 20 miles from Tidewater to the summit of the White Pass, almost 3,000 foot elevation. You ride in vintage rail cars as you retrace the original route to the White Pass summit. This is a fully narrated tour. It features panoramas of mountains, gorges, waterfalls, tunnels, trestles, and historic sites. You can experience this unique railroad that symbolizes accomplishment and the adventure of pioneering. Some other fun things to do within this port of call is you can once again take a helicopter ride to see these incredible views, especially of the Chilkat Glacier system, where frozen rivers of ice surge between mountain peaks. You can combine helicopter glacier flight skiing with one of Alaska's favorite sports, dog sledding. It's going to be a very big theme when you're there in Alaska. The dogs, the sled dogs, you can meet them. They are just so hyped. They love pulling those things, and it really is fun. There's also excursions where you can go and meet the puppies before they are, of course, doing the dog sledding, and I do recommend that. I'm a huge dog person. I have a massive golden doodle. He can't quite pull the sled, but he can try. We're going to move on here. Another fun thing to do in Skagway is you can join professional mountain guides for a rock climbing and rappelling adventure on the granite walls of Alaska. You can choose between over a dozen climbing routes that offer something for all abilities, from beginner, of course, all the way to the experts. You can also kayak on the crystal clear waters of a glacially carved lake in the alpine terrain of the Tormented Valley. You can walk on raised balance beams, cross suspension bridges, and fly through the air on a series of zip lines at Skagway's Adventure Park. And if you want to get a taste of the local flavor, you got to try a true Alaskan salmon bake. It's a dining experience you'll never forget. The meal will include wild Alaska salmon and assorted side dishes, and it is just really that Alaskan flair. That's what you're looking for. That's the taste that you want when you tell your friends and family what you did in Alaska. And probably the best views you're going to get on this vacation is going to be the Endicott Arm and Dawes Glacier. Here, you'll explore one of Alaska's hidden gems, the Endicott Arm Fjord. You cruise along this 30-mile-long stretch and take in these beautiful views of the surrounding granite cliffs, mountain valleys, and dozens of tremendous waterfalls. During your cruise through the area, be sure to keep an eye out for harbor seals and other rare wildlife splashing in the icy waters. And I did mention that North Star. This is the best view you're going to get within that North Star. Once again, talk to your incredible travel agent, Jeffrey. He's going to help you book all of your excursions. And this is one that I definitely recommend you take advantage of because it is the first one to go. The one thing that you do not want to miss within this port of call is the displays. This place is known for its calving displays. You will get an up-close look at the spectacular Dawes Glacier, standing over 600 feet tall and half a mile wide. This active ice cap produces massive, chunky icebergs that float around the surrounding waters. I also highly recommend taking advantage of the North Star. I keep saying it, it is that absolutely incredible. And then the last port of call on this vacation is going to be in Victoria, Canada. Located on the southern tip on the island of Vancouver in British Columbia, the city of Victoria is probably best known for its mild climate and active outdoor lifestyle. As the capital of British Columbia, the city is incredibly tourist friendly. Among the many attractions are world famous gardens, it's 150 years of British history, gourmet dining, and fantastic shopping. The one thing you do not want to miss is visiting the world famous Butchart Gardens or the lush and exotic butterfly gardens. You'll see why Victoria earned the nickname the City of Gardens. Some other fun things to do while you are in Victoria, Canada. You can explore Victoria's history on a Grand City Drive. You can visit the awe-inspiring Craigdarich Castle with its 39 rooms and 5 stories of stained glass, and end the day with high tea at the world-famous Fairmont Empress Hotel. Really get that incredible British experience in Alaska. You can also enjoy an afternoon of sightseeing on a tour of exclusive residential districts, historic Chinatown, and Antique Row, one of the many shopping districts. And then you got to get a taste of the local flavor here. Victoria is a great culinary hotspot. In addition to the abundance of fresh seafood, its mild climate lends itself to a variety of local grown produce. For a complete culinary experience, be sure to try a glass of wine from one of Victoria's award-winning itineraries. And that is going to be it for me. Once again, thank you everyone for jumping on, and especially Jeffrey, thank you so much for inviting me. And yeah, back to you, Jeff.
Excellent, excellent. Hey, so we did have a couple questions, and once again, if anyone has any other questions, feel free to drop them into that question box there. One of the questions, Dan, that we got is if you thought that you would need a balcony while on a cruise to Alaska with all those great areas that you said that we could view the wildlife and glaciers. How important is a balcony?
It is incredibly important, Jeff. When you're visiting these ports of call, or even just when you're on the water, having that balcony view just makes it that much better, that much more of an experience. And you can do that privately. What I like to do whenever I get a balcony cabin, I get a nice bottle of wine, I hang out there on the balcony with my wife and just take in the views. It's, again, nice and private, quiet area for you to enjoy just this beautiful, beautiful itinerary, especially when you're going through the Inside Passage or when you're visiting Dawes Glacier. That's one of the best spots you're going to find on the ship. So that answer is yes.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so the next question I think I can grab here. Someone asked if it's going to be cold. And I can tell you that the Alaska sailing season is going to be late April, early May through late September, early October. And when you are in that kind of May timeframe and September timeframe, you're going to see temps in the kind of low to mid 60s at some of your ports of call. And then they could drop down into the upper 50s. And so you'll definitely want to wear layers when you're out there. During June, July, and August, you can see temperatures kind of climbing up into the 60s and the low 70s. And so very comfortable, again, still with layers.
Yeah, something to touch on that, Jeff. Something to note on the Ovation of the Seas is we do have 2 indoor heated pools. So even when it is 60 degrees out or in the 50s, you can still enjoy a nice heated pool. Definitely still bring your bathing suit. And of course, there's hot tubs located throughout the ship.
Excellent, excellent. Now, next question is, do you need a passport on this itinerary that Dan described? And this is a unique one in that on this particular itinerary, it is round trip from Seattle. So technically speaking, you do not need a passport. However, we always recommend that if you have access to one or you have one, to always use that as your main travel documentation. There is one excursion that Dan talked about. It was that White Pass Railway, and that actually does end in Canada. And so technically you do need a passport to go on that excursion. So short answer, no, you don't need a passport because it is round trip from Seattle. But better answer to that question is I always recommend traveling with a passport, especially when you're leaving the United States. In this case, you are going to Canada for that last port of call. Then another question here, Dan, that you can probably answer is Alaska a good cruise for families?
Absolutely. In regards to just Alaska itself, if your kids or grandma and grandpa or mom and dad love wildlife, if they love beautiful views, if they love good food, Alaska is absolutely perfect for that. In regards to the ship, the Ovation of the Seas, we pride ourselves on being a family brand. We have activities, shore excursions, food, games, everything that you could think of for everyone of all ages. So this is absolutely perfect to bring your family.
Excellent. Okay, well, I think that's it on the questions here. Just so everyone knows, I will be sending out an email tomorrow with a link to the recording of this webinar, as well as a couple other links to some more information about the Ovation of the Seas, as well as a group sailing that we've got booked on the Ovation. It's departing on August 27th of 2021, so still a good ways away. Over a year away here, and just have some incredible rates on inside Ocean View and Ocean View with balcony rooms. The really cool thing with being so far out in the state of travel right now is that deposits are fully refundable, and we also don't need to make final payments till the end of May of 2021. So plenty of time to kind of play out how the world is affected by the COVID situation. Nice way to kind of lock in some great rates, but not have to pay that final payment until we hit May. So I'll be sending out some information on that particular sailing and some of the pricing there, so you can take a look. And if you have any questions at all about not only this itinerary or sailing, any itinerary or sailing or ship, definitely reach out. Again, Dan, thank you so much for your time tonight. I really appreciate you spending some time with us and going over the great product of Alaska with Royal Caribbean. And with that, I think that's about it.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
Take care, everybody.